Killer Inspiration is a Lifetime movie that takes an interesting subject like serial killers and ruins it by sucking. We start off with a woman being murdered in a well-lit parking garage and putting up zero fight. So far, so good. We cut to an FBI agent standing in front of a green screen enjoying a cup of morning coffee. He gets a call from his partner who tells him that the Infinity Killer struck again yesterday and that she's coming to pick him up. And I can't quite figure out why they chose to put this FBI agent in Seattle, Washington, because the movie takes place in Oregon, and how will his partner be picking him up when she's in Canada? The agents arrive on the scene where the dead woman is still lying there uncovered, even though her body was found nearly half a day ago. We see the killer's signature mark branded onto the victim's body and learn that this is his first murder in 6 years. We cut to our lead character, Amanda, at an art gallery as she tries to sell a crappy piece of art for $8,000, but is disrupted by her ex-husband Clay, who suddenly shows up after being gone for years because he is a well-traveled journalist, but looks more like a creepy rock star mixed with an even creepier magician. He tells Amanda that he has changed and now wants to be around for their son Cody. Speaking of that little shit, in walks Cody, who has spent the day doing a fun ride-along with the town's deputy.
Hi, Sean Martel.
Clay.
Clay tries to give Cody a birthday present, which he is reluctant to accept. But eventually he does and suddenly can't get enough of his dad.
Look what my dad got me. Soccer cleats. Is Dad coming over later? Can we call Dad?
Okay, we get it. As Amanda drinks wine with her friend, someone in a mask spies on them from a window. Later that night, Amanda is passed out on her son's bed and Cody hears a creak.
I think there's somebody in the house.
Amanda goes to check it out and finds an envelope outside her door with a photograph and creepy note. The cameraman and his shadow get a clear shot of the photo and we see the Infinity Killer symbol on a bare leg. We cut to the Infinity Killer inside his secret lair and see a shrine of his biggest obsession, Amanda. The killer strikes again, and police are called to the woods after the woman is reported missing. Her body is discovered, and the FBI agents are the first ones to see her corpse. Get ready for some of the dumbest dialogue in the movie.
It's him.
No shit! What gave it away?
Let's get forensics on this right away.
The murder's different this time. It's more violent than the last. Broke her neck, the others were by asphyxiation.
As if viciously strangling someone to death is any less violent than simply breaking their neck. And how do you even know that her neck was broken? You found the body like 30 seconds ago. Not even the medical examiner has looked at it yet.
I think this guy's unraveling.
We gotta find this guy before we have another body on our hands.
Wow! Amanda finds another cryptic photo outside her art gallery. She turns both photos she received over to the FBI, and her ex-husband Clay becomes their #1 suspect because he has been absent for 6 years, just like the Infinity Killer. Cody is kidnapped while Amanda is at work. The agents and deputy come to the house to take her statement. The female FBI agent is worried that her partner is getting too close to Amanda. He says that he's only doing it so he can get closer to the killer. The killer shows up to a remote location where he has Cody locked up in a secret bunker, but is nice enough to throw a sandwich at him. Amanda receives a call from the killer and is instructed to go to the police and tell them that Cody is fine and with his father, and if she doesn't, he will kill Cody. Amanda does what she is told. The cops track down Clay, who denies knowing anything about Cody's whereabouts. The killer kills Amanda's best friend for no real reason. And to add insult to injury, she's marked as the 4th piece of evidence at the crime scene.
Same MO as the others. Strangled, branded. She doesn't look like the others, though.
Why? Because she's black?
That's because she was killed for a different reason.
What exactly is he suggesting? The killer allows Amanda to speak to her son. And speaking of speaking, I assumed that every time the killer spoke in that super deep modulated voice,
Hello?
I told you to stay away from the cops. Don't disappoint me. I'll be in touch.
it was because of some voice changer on his cell phone. But apparently, that's just how he sounds because now we hear it directly from his mouth.
Get up here. Enough with the family reunion. I'll be in touch. Shut up. Get in.
Wow. Amanda watches a home video that the killer sent to her in the mail of her son on a live feed and the killer talking on camera. She notices something in the background. She zooms in on the photos behind him, which are now perfectly clear, even though they were obviously out of focus and blurry in the video. She recognizes the person standing next to her in one of the photos and finds him in her photo album. It's someone from her past named Eric Hansen. He even signed it with the killer symbol. Clay demands to know where Cody is. Amanda shows him the photo of the person she believes kidnapped him. He never asks where she got this photo, who this man is, or how she knows that he's the kidnapper. But after he leaves her office,
It's Clay. We need to talk.
that night, Clay shows up for a meeting with who I can only assume is the man from the photo, but is shot in the chest and the killer reveals himself. And unlike any of the other victims, at least he got partially covered up with a blanket. The FBI agent notices that there was a security camera at the scene. The deputy comes to Amanda's house to inform her that Clay has been murdered, even though someone in uniform and actually on duty would have most likely done that like 10 hours ago. It's pretty clear that he has the same tattoo as the guy from the photograph, but Amanda doesn't seem to notice. The agents review the security footage of Clay getting murdered.
Zoom in. He's the Infinity Killer.
No shit! Amanda examines more of the photographs in the killer's shrine. This photo of a barn stands out to her, and wouldn't you know it, she has the exact same one. She turns into Sherlock Holmes and realizes that the barn is the same barn behind the guy in both photographs. The camera pans over and shows Deputy Sean Martell with the same tattoo. Wait, where did this photo even come from? How is it now on her computer instead of this, which was just on the screen 6 seconds ago? She never clicked on anything. She's just been sitting there comparing these two photos side by side. It makes no sense, but the movie just continues on, with the killer stuffing Cody's air hole with rags in order to suffocate him to death. Amanda hurries to the barn to save Cody, without bringing the FBI because that would make sense, and is immediately confronted by the deputy. The FBI agent rushes to Amanda's house to tell her that the Infinity Killer murdered Clay, but she doesn't answer the door or her cell phone. He breaks a window and stumbles upon her discovery. The deputy, aka Eric Hansen, explains his entire motive, that he has been in love with Amanda ever since high school, but she never even knew he existed, even though they used to hang out all the time at the same social functions, including right here in this very barn. So he started murdering women that fit her description as a coping mechanism for his hurt feelings. He moved back home because his dead parents left him a lot of money, but he changed his name from Eric to Sean and became the deputy.
And I became Sean Martell. The perfect cover.
He had to kidnap Cody because he saw photos of the dead bodies while riding in his police cruiser. And in the ultimate revenge, he is now going to kill Amanda. Amanda tries to break free, but it doesn't work. The FBI agent arrives at the barn and shoots the deputy dead. even though he was the only one who knew where Cody was being kept. Amanda remembers that Cody is on a live feed. How is there a handheld camera happening right now when it's being shot through a wall-mounted camera? Amanda tells him to start making noise in order for them to find him. He uses his piss bucket to bang on a pipe and is soon rescued. We cut to 3 months later, where Cody is painting a scary piece of crap of his mom and the FBI agent who are now dating. Spirits seem to be rather high, for only 90 days after Cody was kidnapped and almost died, his dad was murdered, and so was Amanda's best friend. I just have a few questions. Why did the deputy, who was the Infinity Killer, just now start another murder spree after 6 years? It's not like Amanda suddenly came back into his life, which brought on feelings of rejection and rage. From what we can tell, they have known each other for some time, so why now? If the deputy was so in love with Amanda, why did he never actually ask her out? She was extremely cordial with him, especially after he took her son on a ride along in his police car, but he still never made a move. It's not like he kept dropping hints that he liked her during the movie and was constantly being rejected. He basically just started murdering people at the beginning and then bitched at the end that she wouldn't be with him. Was he actually interested in dating her, or was he going to murder her regardless because she ignored him 20 years ago in high school? Who did Amanda think this was in the photo? After spotting him in the killer's shrine, she was instantly able to identify him as someone she kept in her own personal photo album. Yet she acted as if she had no idea who he was. And if she didn't know who he was, then why wasn't she wondering why she had this photo in the first place? If she thought he was the kidnapper and somehow involved in her past, why wasn't she flipping through old yearbooks, texting old friends, or even asking Clay, who we know went to high school with them, who this guy was? It's like she didn't care about finding out until 14 minutes later when the script told her to. Why do these not look like the same person at all? 20 years doesn't really change a person's face that drastically. The movie intentionally used a different human being for the younger photo in order to trick the audience and the characters, but that's just lazy and stupid. It would have made way more sense if they added one line of dialogue that explained how Sean altered his appearance with facial reconstructive surgery. That would have explained why Amanda didn't immediately recognize the younger guy in the photograph as Deputy Sean now. Instead, their entire justification was that this was a long time ago and she simply didn't recognize him. Who was Clay calling after he saw this photo of Eric Hansen?
We need to talk.
If Eric Hansen was an old friend of his and he was calling him to figure out what was going on, why didn't he bring it up to Amanda moments earlier in her office? Why did he set up a secret meeting? And why was he so surprised when Sean revealed his face to him instead of Eric? Again, the only explanation is if Eric had reconstructive surgery when he became Sean. Otherwise, why wouldn't Clay have recognized him in the beginning when the deputy introduced himself? When Eric returned to his hometown and became the deputy, why did he need to change his identity?
And I became Sean Martel. The perfect cover.
The perfect cover for what? Who was he trying to fool? Amanda? Why did he need to change his name if he believed she never knew who he was to begin with? It makes absolutely no sense, and at no point does the movie ever bother to explain any of these discrepancies.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about.